This is Carson TV News, your capital city news source.
Good evening, I'm Courtney Bloomer. You're watching Carson TV News, your source for Nevada's capital city news. Tonight's top story, Carson City Sheriff Ken Furlong warns of a scammer making phony calls threatening arrest of Carson City residents. A telephone scammer claiming to be the Carson City Under Sheriff Albertson is making calls to Carson City residents. Sheriff Ken Furlong warns citizens not to engage with the caller. The sheriff's office is receiving a heavy volume of reports from area residents that they have received telephone calls from the current Carson City Under Sheriff, Steve Albertson, warning of an arrest warrant for their arrest. The Burning Man Counterculture Festival is taking place on the Black Rock Playa this week. One of the highlights of the festival is the diverse art displays that are there. Many local artists take part in this annual event.
A couple years ago, I was lucky enough to have friends that helped me overcome my uncertainty of going to Burning Man. And so this will be my fourth year out. And ever since the first year, I realized that I want to bring something out to Burning Man. I want to be able to create, because everything that's out there is brought by the people who are there. There's nothing that's brought by the Burning Man organization besides basic infrastructure. And all the art and the amazing things. The first time I went, and I remember just feeling like my mind was blown. And I really wanted to be able to bring something out so the people that haven't been before, I just hope that even one person walks out and says, holy crap, why? What is this, and why would it come out here? If one person sees my project and says that, I think it'll be worth it. It's really exciting to know that my idea that I've been thinking about for the last year is going to be seen by 60, 70,000 people, that I can share it with so many people. And well, initially, my idea kind of started out with like the helix, double helix of like DNA, the twisting, and then it kind of evolved to the triple helix. And so what I ended up building here was my little concept is each of these triangles kind of twists the same as the helix of DNA. It kind of twists on its way up. And then I kind of stuck with the triple theme and built the three legs and the triangle, which is currently upside down. But so everything I've just kind of stuck with triple. It's all been threes. I got really lucky. I ended up with the batteries came out of an old forklift from work, and the generator came from an old an RV, and it was all pretty much, you know, a lot of things were donated, and I feel very fortunate in that. And what we decided to do was we're building a bench. So it's got a seat because we have to put the box, or we have to put the generator in something. And so I chose a box, but I realized I don't just want an ugly box sitting out there. So we turned it into a bench, and we're actually going to leave markers and things out there so that people can draw on it and create on the box itself. I think that's really exciting. That's part of the culture out there, is everyone's bringing something, and we're all kind of taking something away, I guess. So I'm really excited that, you know, to leave that for kind of a blank canvas for anyone who's interested. All right, here on the left, this is David and his brother Robert. They both come out from Utah. And they went back to Utah and came back to help. They've been working really hard. There's no way I could have possibly done this without them. Looking forward to having it all put together. We had it stood up today, and it was really exciting to see it standing up. And one thing that is it's completely done. One of the few things. Everything else has a little bit to do.
Robert, I'm Jake's stepdad, and my brother and I are truly honored to be here. It's been a thrill, really, to experience all this. I'm shooting for next year. You know, we're going to try to get our tickets in advance, and if he does it a second time, then we'll definitely, you know, like to see it then.
We've been assigned an art support camp, so we have a camping location, but as to where it's going to sit on the playa, it's really, we give a general, you know, you can kind of choose the general area, and then they kind of organize it based on what's available. They want to space it out, or, you know, space things based on need. And So all I know is it's going to be in the between 9 o'clock and noon, somewhere around there, mid-playa. And then I'll see from there.
All that creativity. We hope everyone has a great week on the playa. In other news, the Nevada Department of Transportation's Carson City Freeway project has reached yet another milestone. The recently completed phase of the project included roadway grading, utility relocation, extensive drainage facilities to channel stormwater runoff, and construction of an overpass bridging Snyder Avenue over the future freeway. The next phase of construction, which will pave and open the freeway to traffic between Fairview Drive and the Spooner US 50 junction in South Carson City, is scheduled to begin in the first half of 2015. The completed freeway is projected to open to traffic in 2017. Further information on the freeway project is available at www.ccfreeway.com. Carson City School District Superintendent Richard Stokes is requesting the public's help in meeting the school district's goals associated with the Race to the Top grant. Here's more.
As we begin a new school year, we are working off of a guideline that we refer to as our strategic plan. This document has been established as a result of community input and input from our school staff to help keep us focused on all of the right things. We have 5 very specific goals within our strategic plan that are aimed at improving our system and providing the very best education for your children that we can do. And to help us maintain the concepts, the objectives, the strategies, and the goals of our strategic plan, we have created a citizens and a school staff-based group of individuals that we refer to as our community PLC. And PLC simply stands for Professional Learning Community. And this group of interested adults and students come together about once every quarter. We meet 4 times a year, and we always meet at 6 p.m. and the location of our meeting is at Carson High School's library. And we'll be advertising the dates of those meetings, but I'd love to invite you to come and be part of that as we make sure that we hold ourselves accountable for the work that's needing to be done within the strategic plan, and then that we modify that strategic plan as time goes by, as we reach our goals, as we learn of new things that we want to add to our strategic plan. It's really important to me and also to our school board members that we have community input so that we're doing the will of the community as it applies to our work within our schools. So again, I'd like to invite you to be part of that community PLC and watch for the meetings that we will hold. Our first one is scheduled for August the 27th, and again, that'll start at 6 p.m. at the Carson High School Library.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Hopefully the community turns out and really gets invested in our school district. The Carson City Kiwanis is hosting their annual Evening on the Comstock event on Saturday, September 6th at the Railroad Museum here in Carson City. The event, featuring food, great music, and a silent auction, will take place from 3 to 7 p.m. and promises fun for the whole family. 2 exciting video competitions are coming to Carson City. Nevada middle and high school students are encouraged to enter the Nevada Prescription Drug Prevention Video Contest, sponsored by Governor Brian Sandoval and Attorney General Catherine Cortez Masto. This is an opportunity for Nevada students to get creative and use social media to promote awareness about prescription drug abuse and encourage their peers to stay away from abusing prescription drugs. Winners will be selected from each Nevada school district and will advance to the state level, where first, second, and third place winners will be selected in each social media category. Visit www.nv-psa.com for complete contest rules. The deadline to enter is October 10th. You may have heard about the citywide short film competition that took place last month. Now there's the Carson Creepy Film Fest, a competition that gives you 1 week to make a creepy film beginning on October 15th. Sign up your team by October 13th by sending the team name to dbayer@bactv.org. Cowboy poet Tony Argento will be making a special presentation of his work at the Nevada State Museum on Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
Howdy, my name's Tony Argento. I'm a cowboy poet, and I have a lot of fun with it. I'm what's termed as a character actor poet, and that means I have a animated delivery. I do vocal sound effects, voice animation, and have been known to use props. I like to engage the audience, and I'll tell you why, because that's what makes a fun show. I have been humbled to be a part of the Francis Humphreys lecture series at the Nevada State Museum on the 28th of this month, August, which will be Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30, followed with a question and answer period. I hope to see all the viewers out there in television land seated before me. It's going to be a fun show. Cowboy poetry is a dying art. It's been around a long time, actually the years since following the Civil War. It's a great source of entertainment for the entire family. And believe me, once you get a transfusion of cowboy poetry in your blood, you'll be hooked for life. That's what happened to me, and yes, it's very contagious. This year marks Nevada's 150th birthday, and I am a proud Nevadan like many of you. Governor Sandoval is really promoting this celebration, and I'm proud to be a part of it. When you come to the museum on Thursday the 28th, or any day throughout this year, there is a wonderful display on exhibit, the great Pathfinder of the West, Mr. John C. Fremont. You will see many things related to him. There's a Fremont howitzer cannon there. It's a mountain howitzer. And I am a proud member of the Fremont Howitzer Recovery Team. There are articles that we have recovered there on display. There are 3 artillery rims. One is an original, and there are 2 spares, and there's the trunnion plate. That would be wonderful for you to see that. It's a great part of our history. Now, like Gene Autry said in the Cowboy Code, which I will give on Thursday, the cowboy is a patriot. And with that said, I will incorporate good, true, old-fashioned American patriotism. You'll get originals. I'll give you some classics. We're going to do the gunslingers, drifters, rodeo. I even do novelty poetry. Might even throw in a few tongue twisters. I hope to see all of you there, and I guarantee you're going to have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. That looks like a fantastic opportunity to learn about Nevada's history and culture. Carson City Visitors Bureau and the Brewery Arts Center are partnering to promote a new film entitled Find Your Way. The film, about the life of several street performers, will be shown at the Brewery Arts Center on September 19th. Leading up to the showing, performers will be taking to the streets of Carson City to showcase their talent and promote the film. Are you looking to relocate, upgrade to a larger home, or downsize your space? Real estate agent Garrett Lapierre has some tips to stage your current home to make the best impression on prospective buyers.
Hi, I'm Garrett Lapierre, local real estate agent here in Carson City with Century 21 Jim Wilson Realty. Today we're going to talk about home improvements and where are the areas that you can get the best return on your investment when you're trying to get your home sold and get it improved. And I have 3 tips for you on this one. So the first one is to spend money in the kitchen. The kitchen is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a house that really didn't have all that many stunning features to it, but the kitchen was done really well, had granite countertops, nicely colored cabinets, maybe a backsplash, and people fell in love with it based just on the kitchen. That is where you're going to get your best return on investment, and spending a couple $1,000s on, say, granite countertops or maybe a tile backsplash will help you not only sell faster, but in most cases you're going to recoup most of what you laid out and maybe even more. Granite nowadays really isn't that expensive. If you go down to your local home improvement store, you can usually find some really good deals on countertops. So that's the first place to look. Secondly, the second most popular room to spend the money in is going to be the bathroom. What I see is tile showers with multiple shower heads, which really isn't that tough to do. You get a plumber in there, spend a little bit of money on adding some additional heads, and that in itself is not only kind of a wow factor to a bathroom, but people really, really like that. I'm seeing more people that do not want any type of tub. They just want a shower stall. And the bigger the shower and the more heads in the shower, the better off you are. Obviously, that's not true in all cases, but in most cases, it is. Also in the master bathroom, people like to see dual sinks. The cabinet height is something that I've been hearing a lot. How high are the cabinets? Do they come up to my hip or do they come up to my belly button? And most people prefer to have a little higher up cabinet. So if you are going to replace cabinets in the bathrooms, please keep that in mind. How high are they? The third place for you to spend money and get a really good return on your investment is on the outside of the home with the landscaping. You don't have to have all rock, you don't have to have all sod, but whatever you have there, make sure it's clean, that the grass is mowed, the flowers are trimmed, the trees are trimmed, that the rock is laid out flat and evenly. Most people, when they see an unkept yard, it makes them think, what else is wrong here, or what else haven't they kept up on? Just having those little things taken care of, and like I said, you don't necessarily have to have grass, you don't have to have all rock, but whatever you have, make sure it's in good shape and that it pleases the eye. Curb appeal is one of the biggest factors in whether someone, when they first pull up to your home, goes, I could see myself living here, or on to the next one. You never get another chance to make a first impression, and that's so important in that curb appeal, especially in the front of your property. We want to encourage you to send in your suggestions or topics that you'd like to see covered. Please send them to the email that you see below. And I want to thank you for watching, and make it a great day.
Thank you, Garrett. Those were some great tips for staging a home. The high school football boosters held their annual kickoff and Hall of Fame dinner on Saturday, August 23rd at the Carson Nugget. This is the organization's largest fundraiser of the year, and the funds raised go to support the Carson High School football program for much-needed equipment, uniforms, travel expenses, and scholarships. In 2014, the boosters awarded $4,000 in scholastic-based scholarships. As we reported in last week's upcoming events, the High Sierra Swing Dancers held their monthly dance at the Brewery Arts Center last Saturday. Here's some footage of the fun event. A local Carson City business that opened in the midst of the recession celebrated 5 years in business last Saturday with a street festival with food and music.
Ina Lee Friend with Nevada Live Magazine, and we're here with Kyle Horvath at the Catapalooza. So tell us, Kyle, what are we doing today?
We're celebrating Caterpillar Tuca Lounge's 5th birthday, 5th year in business.
And so what kind of activities you got planned tonight?
Pretty much. We've got, it's kind of like a compression, Burning Man compression type thing, you know, to kind of like get people psyched up for the gates opening up tomorrow. But we've got bikes on display, we've got a bunch of vendors, jewelry, local arts, crafts, things like that. We've got an art gallery off to the side there, and then 3 bands and a DJ tonight until 11 o'clock or hopefully later, so we'll see.
So sounds like fun. So this is the place to be at the Caterpillar Hookah Lounge.
It's the place to be downtown tonight. You know, the roller derby girls are doing a beer crawl tonight, and this is a stop on that beer crawl. So, I mean, how many more really good things can you pull together into one event? You got beer, you got roller derby girls, you got bikes, music, art, DJs. It's, you know, it's all here on 4th Street.
All right, well, thanks. This is Dana Lee Friend and Kyle Horvath at the Caterpillar Hookah Lounge 5th year anniversary Catapalooza.
Evergreen Jeans at 1811 North Carson Street will host a Pets of the Homeless food drive on Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Over 10,000 pets of the homeless were successfully vaccinated and treated for illness or injuries. Additionally, many were spayed or neutered. Over 295 tons of pet food and supplies were dispersed to homeless and disadvantaged who own pets across the U.S. and Canada as part of the Pets of the Homeless program.
This is working with Pets of the Homeless. This is a pet wellness clinic. People are bringing their dogs and their cats, and they're going to get checked out by Dr. Ford and hopefully see about 60, maybe 70 animals.
Pets of the Homeless makes it easy to come out and help folks who otherwise might not be able to keep their pets. A lot of the people I talk to out here say they lost their home or they lost their place to live, but the one thing they took was their pet.
This is good for those that are low income, simply so that they can have a place where they feel comfortable bringing their animals to get the best health care that they can get, and also to have someone take a look at their animals without them having to travel too far from where they're at.
You know, being disabled for a long time, it's hard to afford taking care of my pet. And this is a real great opportunity for me and my dog to, you know, help us out a little bit.
This is just something that's so different. It's something that there's not a whole lot of resources that are already going into, and it really makes a difference.
Oh, it helps us quite a bit because we were homeless and we just got housing, so it helps save, you know, quite a bit of money when we get the free food and the vet and everything.
Seeing all the animals, the different breeds, and the bond that these people have with their pets, it is so gratifying. And you know, they may be homeless, but that pet knows no difference.
Working with Pets of the Homeless and Dr. Ford and them has just been fabulous. Seeing people being able to come out to get their animals taken care of, it's just nice, and you can see the smiles and and how happy they are by the end of the time, because they've been able to do that. And the animals are happy too, because they're getting some needed attention.
They have a huge smile on their face and super excited that they can have someone that listens to them and wants to help their animals.
The dogs and the cats that we see at these kind of wellness clinics, they're pretty nervous because it's kind of a stressful environment for them. But as they're leaving and walking away with their owners, you see the tails wagging.
When I first got Skeeter, he ended up contacting Parvo. And Pets of the Homeless actually came to my rescue and came up with the funds to save his life. And he pulled through it, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing here today holding Skeeter. Seriously, I love this dog, and they kept him alive.
They're very happy. Some people even cry because they're so happy, and it's really great to see them taking care of their animals like this.
I'm very thankful for these people and what they do, and you know, everybody should help out all they can.
The crew here at Carson TV News welcomes your submissions. Here's Darla with some hints on the cameras you should use.
Hi, I'm Darla from Carson TV, here with some more hints on viewer-submitted footage. This is a tripod. This is a monopod. You can see tri is 3 legs and a monopod is 1 leg. We also have a mount, a separate mount for a smartphone. Great thing about this is it will hold your phone steady while you are shooting. By the way, the adapter is very inexpensive. You can find it online for $15, so it's really a nice thing to have, especially if you have a monopod or a tripod. Once you've attached the smartphone adapter to your monopod or your tripod, you'll be able to use any size smartphone because this is a spring-loaded adapter. So any width of phone will go. Once you have your phone mounted to the adapter, you want to let out the legs of your monopod to a nice even height so that you can see everything that's going on. Your camera is pointing out and the screen is facing you. So you can see everything that you're filming. You can pan and you can tilt. Really smooth. It looks great. Now you have controls on your screen just like you've had in the past. You can touch it, you can spread, you can have your zoom, you can see the time that you have been filming, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. It's great. You'll get really nice footage using an adapter on a monopod or a tripod. I have found with an iPhone that about 1minute 10 seconds is about the length that you want to have so that you can email a video. It's also where you're probably going to want to be editing anyway. So you might want to just do your video in shorter snippets, and then you can email them to us at carsontvnews@gmail.com. Here's a couple more tips for when you are shooting footage with your smartphone. See how I have it turned sideways? That's called landscape. Shooting it in landscape mode will look a lot like this. You can see that Jeff is shooting in landscape. Now Jeff has turned to portrait. Portrait will give you video that has black to either side. That's really not the way we want it for television. Please try to avoid starting in portrait and it's like, oh no, I forgot, and then turning it to landscape. Doesn't work. You can see it on your phone, you can see how it will actually move, but it really is hard for us to edit. So our biggest hint is please shoot with your camera in landscape, which means turn it sideways. When you're using your smartphone, you may find that the microphone is pointing in a funny direction and what you are shooting is in front of you. To help get better sound, cup your hand around the end of the phone where you would normally talk into it. That's where your microphone is. If you cup it, you can actually help to keep wind from blowing into the phone and you'll actually catch a little more of that audio. I'll have another segment soon on using external microphones with your smartphone.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Carson TV News, your source for Nevada's capital city news. I'm Courtney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.